I'm Lisa New. I'm President and CEO at Zoo Knoxville, and I am so excited today to be reading for One Book Read City. And this is my little Tyrannosaurus Rex friend. We're going to call him Chewy. And he's making his big debut with a bunch of other dinosaurs here at Zoo Knoxville. So hope you'll come see him and find out all about him. I, as director of the zoo, have the wonderful job of getting to read to you today, but also I get to work around all of these amazing animals that call Zoo Knoxville home, all of the wonderful staff that take care of the animals and the people here, and I get to work around bunches of kids and visitors just like you. It's a great job, and our real focus is to have a great time, to take care of these magnificent animals, and to save them from extinction. You know, reading has been a fundamental part of my life since I was a little girl. I love to escape in a book. If I'm not reading a book, I love to listen to my audiobooks, and they have always taken me somewhere far away. When I was a little girl, my favorite books were about werewolves and vampires, and I just knew that they were real because they were in the nonfiction section. Silly me, I learned the truth about that. But as my children were little, I loved to read to my kids. I love children's books of all kind, and so I'm really excited to read to you today. And so let's get started. Chapter 12, Carnivore, Omnivore. I darted around the kitchen. I needed some kind of animal meat. I opened the fridge. Yes! I'd forgotten that Dad had gone fishing with his friends a few days before. He always saves a few of the smallest fish as treats for Sassafras. I grabbed 2 fish. Hey, Sassafras, can you share one of these with Marshmallow? Sassafras stared at both fish and meowed loudly. He grabbed one, dropped it in his food bowl, and took a bite. That left me with 1 fish. I figured that counted as permission to share it with a baby dragon. I didn't wait to see if Sassafras would change his mind. I quickly gathered the other things I needed for the experiment, went straight to the barn with Sassafras at my heels. If Marshmallow ate either the fish or the worms but ignored the plants, he was probably a carnivore. If he ate just the plants, he was probably an herbivore. And if he ate both meat and plants, he was probably an omnivore. I knew I should be writing all of this in my journal, but it would have to wait till later. Little Marshmallow needed me to be quick. He was lying there, slumped on the ground and barely awake. I didn't think he'd make it over to the plate, so I put them right in front of him. Sassafras meowed and stared at the fish longingly. I picked him up and petted him. It gave my nervous hands something to do. I waited. Nothing happened. Little Marshmallow was too weak. I snuggled Sassafras and tried to think, what could I do? Maybe I could put the food right up in his mouth. I dangled some worms in front of him and wiggled them. Want a little taste? Marshmallow took a lick and then laid his head back down. I tried the same thing with each of the other foods. He gave them all 1 lick, but he didn't eat any of them. I sat on the ground and put my head in my hands. I couldn't even watch anymore. Then I heard a sound. I looked up to see Marshmallow crawling over to the fish. He swallowed the whole thing in 1 gulp. Then he tucked his tail under his head, closed his eyes, and went to sleep. I crossed my fingers and toes that the fish and the nap would do the trick. It was breaking my heart to see little Marshmallow so sick. Sassafras bumped my chin with his head and purred. I could tell he was super worried about Marshmallow. I decided to read through the rest of the reptile book, just in case there was something I missed. Sassafras curled up in my lap like a warm, rumbling blanket as I read. Chapter 13. Mom! My eyes flew open and I looked around. The reptile book had fallen out of my hands. Sassafras quietly snored on my chest. I must have fallen asleep. I heard my dad calling my name. Huh? Was it dinner time already? Sassafras and I ran into the house and looked around. Is it time for dinner? Dad laughed. Did you forget that your mom was coming home today? Mom's back? Mom's back? Mom? I ran to her office, hugged her, and burst into tears. I messed everything up. There was a baby dragon, and I wasn't sure what was wrong. I fed him marshmallows, and he got better. Then he's got so much worse. I tried to fix it by feeding him fish. I don't know if it worked. I don't want him to die, I sobbed. My mom knelt down and looked me in the eye. Oh, Zoe, you must have been very worried. But magical animals are much tougher than you think. Let's see how he's doing.